Hello. I hope all of you are well. Thank you for tuning into the World Language Remote Learning Professional Learning. I'm going to walk you through some Google Slides on best practices and the format for remote learning as we go forward. And I'm going to show you some resources, and I'm going to show you a sort of a template for a Canvas course I've created that you could replicate and use to create an online learning environment for your own students. Um, I'll be posting office hours this week right here. So if you need me, you can tune into those Zoom meetings, or you can email me or call me at any time. And obviously the video I'm making for you right now will be inserted right here. So let's jump into these slides. These are in Google. There's a tiny URL for you. So if you wanted to access it outside of Canvas and in Google, you can. Our objectives are to reconnect with our students in an online environment, to get everyone comfortable with online or remote instruction. So looking at best practices for online learning, exploring tools to engage students, and then sharing resources and ideas for online or remote instruction as we continue to provide supplemental educational opportunities for our students. So the first thing that you should have been doing, and you should have started work on this Thursday and Friday, was to begin setting up your learning management system, or LMS. If you're already engaged and involved with one, established, your kids know what it is, you've been using Google Classroom or Schoology or Canvas already, then keep doing that. Keep doing whatever it is you're doing that was working, that the kids are familiar with. If you're not currently using a learning management system like Canvas or Google Classroom, we're going to ask you to create a Canvas course. And Erica Williard created a Canvas 101 Canvas course for you that will get you started. It'll teach you how to log in, how to set up courses, some of the basics for getting your course running. So make sure you take that course if you're not already currently using an LMS. We're going to talk a lot about two different online learning formats, synchronous and asynchronous. So what we're doing right now is called asynchronous. It's a blend of online and offline learning. Your materials are delivered electronically. Students will work at their own pace and at their own schedule when they choose to access the materials. So what we're doing right now, like I said, is asynchronous. I'm talking you through materials that I'm providing online. Notice I'm up here in the top of the corner. When I do asynchronous learning, I like to use Zoom because Zoom will record me as well. I know we don't like to be videoed and hear ourselves talk, but I do think it's important in this time and in this situation that students can see and hear you as well. So I would encourage you to use Zoom when recording your asynchronous lessons so that the kids can connect with you. It just creates a more personal feeling for me and gives them a sense of connection and community. Um, Make sure in asynchronous learning that your instructions and expectations are clear and concise, and try to give students the opportunity to collaborate with one another as often as possible. In a synchronous meeting, you're virtual and face-to-face. These would be the office hours that I'm going to hold this week. You provide instant feedback to kids. It's a great way to connect with them, let them see and hear you. Scheduling can be an issue, so make sure you're recording your meeting so that kids can watch it at a later date. For conversations with students in synchronous meetings, we are going to ask you to use Microsoft Teams, and there's a link there so that you can connect with that. So first steps, if you haven't already, set up your LMS. If you're not currently using one, make sure you get that course set up in Canvas. Take your Canvas 101 course and your Virtual Professionalism course. Virtual Professionalism course is basically just walking you through what's honestly our standard of conduct if you were in front of kids in the classroom. So notice I'm wearing work clothes. I'm not in my robe, even though I'm at home. My hair's not tossed up on top of my head. I'm not eating breakfast or drinking my coffee. I have a neutral background behind me. There's no distractions. I've got my door shut to keep the cats out of the office because, cats they want to walk all over things, but that would be distracting to children. I actually had to go out and ask my husband to turn his music down because I could hear it. So just working with those things to limit distractions that could take away from what kids are learning, and then also just maintaining that professional standard that we hold in Cabarrus County. Um, When you establish your synchronous meeting times and office hours, make sure they're displayed on Canvas and kids can see them. Try to stay consistent with that as much as possible because scheduling for them could be hard. So if they start working around your schedule to be in those, we want to make sure that we can keep that consistency. And then spend the first few meetings, especially the synchronous ones, allowing students to become comfortable with the online tools and the format. So focus more on the tool than the content. Ask them how they're doing, check in with them, and then introduce one tool at a time, providing them opportunity to practice with it rather than creating a lesson that dumps 13 brand new tools on there that they have to learn on top of content. So what this should look like, we're going to do mini lessons or recorded videos, keeping them to 20 minutes or less. So for something like this would be a mini lesson that I'm doing with you. It'll be less than 20 minutes. High school, you'll do 3 mini lessons a week. Middle school Spanish 1 and 2, 3 mini lessons a week. Middle school introduction to Spanish, 2 mini lessons a week. Any outside work that you've assigned, keep it to less than 30 minutes a day. So anything that would be similar to homework or something like that, that would be outside of what they're doing with the asynchronous video or synchronous meeting. Provide opportunities for students to collaborate. We really want to try to create a community for them online in this virtual space so that they can engage with their peers and talk with their peers. Provide opportunities for students to engage with the target language by speaking, listening, reading, and writing. High school, you're going to be asked to meet synchronously once a week, so essentially holding office hours. Middle school Spanish 1 and 2, it's encouraged that you meet synchronously once a week with your kids. Your school's level directors and administration will work with you to set those schedules. So I want to show you kind of what I've built out as a Canvas course. If I was going to be teaching world language online, my Canvas course would look very similar to this. I would have the week for the lessons up here, a little bit of background about what we're doing. So I just picked reflexive verbs, what they found, when my office hours would be, and then every week I'm going to make a video for my kids, unless I'm doing, now, if I'm doing slide decks that I would be talking through like I just did with you, that'd be something different. But this is literally a video of me doing for students what I'm doing for you, talking through the Canvas course, what they're learning, what I expect them to do, showing them the sites so that they have a clear idea as to what it is my expectations are and what the lesson entails. Then they go down here. I've set up the mini lessons for a lot of the subjects in a very simple launch, explore, summarize, or synthesize format, so that we jump in with something that grabs the kids' attention. It gets them interesting. It could be a compelling question. It could be a quick quiz or something like that. In this case, I picked a video from Senor Jordan on reflexive verbs. It's a song. And then after they watch this, I would ask them to explore by following a link to Conjugamos, which is right now free, and do some reflexive verb practice. I am aware that the reflexive verbs he's singing about in the song may not be the same reflexive present tense verbs from Conjugamos. I'm not a world language teacher, so I'm letting you handle the content, and I'm just helping you with the format and the how for this. So if they don't align, forgive me for that. I was just trying to get you to see how this could look. And then the summarize or synthesize piece would be the opportunity for students to synthesize what they've learned and demonstrate learning here. So you could create a form in Google that they answer, or a quiz. You could do a Canvas discussion where they go in and they could talk about reflexive verbs and how they use them and share with one another, which would be a great opportunity for them to collaborate. And then you would build your other 2 mini lessons here, of course, building on the reflexive verbs and what they were already doing. So the last thing I want to show you here is on the last slide in this presentation, I've linked some resources for you. So NCDPI has put together a website for remote learning. They've grabbed a whole bunch of resources that are available now to teachers online for free. There isn't a whole lot in there right now for world language, but I grabbed the ones that I could get into and that I could use. I also grabbed a Google folder of resources that I've started to put together for you as well. If it'll load. There it is. So one of the things that I started working on for you, and I want your feedback on this, so let me know if you love it, hate it, want more of it, is I started going through News ELA or Newsella and finding news articles that are in Spanish. And then I leveled them. So here's the max. So if you were teaching AP Spanish or Spanish 4, kids right here, they could have the maximum vocabulary level. But if you're in Spanish 1, here's 670. I found other ones that, like if you look at the mealworm macaroni article, it goes all the way down to 480 as a Lexile level. Now, I know that Lexiles aren't the end all be all, even when we're talking about ELA instructions. So they're certainly not going to be the end all be all for Spanish instruction. But I gave you a chart here so you can sort of see where those Lexiles fit. So that Lexile level of 480 would be a second grade reading level. Just something that could help you for kids, and then you could give it to them and they could practice reading, and they actually come with questions. So if you open one of them up, they've got questions at the end that are also in Spanish that they could answer. You could put these into a Google document or into a Google form and let the kids answer them that way and submit them to you. So it was just, as I'm looking for resources and things for you that you can do online, this was something that I started working on. The other thing I'm going to ask you to do, because all the other subjects seem to have so many other online resources and world language just doesn't. If you have a really great resource that you use that you know is free right now that you want to share with me, then I'll add it to this Google document, so that all the other teachers in the district can use it as well. And I'm sure that that would be much appreciated. Like I said, I'll have my office hours up here by the time you see this tomorrow. So feel free to tune in, do a Zoom meeting there. If not, reach out to me via email or text me or call me at any time. I'm here to support you. I know that right now we are living in a very different world, and we're just figuring it all out, but have every confidence in you that you're going to rock this out and you're going to do exactly what is best for our kids to make this as easy of a transition for them and to continue their learning. So like I said, if you need me, I'm here to support you anytime, any question, just let me know. Thank you. Good luck with this, and I'll be in touch soon. Bye.